F1 News: Lewis Hamilton's teammate backs rival in 2019 World Championship battle. Hamilton won his fifth world title this year after comfortably seeing off the challenge of Sebastian Vettel. The Brit is the heavy favorite to continue his momentum in 2019 by moving to within one driver's championship win of the legendary Michael Schumacher. However, the top F1 teams have reshuffled their packs ahead of the new season, with two young, hungry drivers said to be thrust into action. Ferrari signed Leclerc from Sauber while Pierre Gasly moved to Red Bull from Toro Rosso. And Ocon, who is without a seat after Force India changed ownership, will be Mercedes' third and test driver for next year. But he has risked the wrath of his teammates by claiming Leclerc and Gasly can pip his allies to race wins. "I think you will see that Pierre and Charles are going to fight for wins and podiums," he said. "Probably the mentality of Formula One is going to change with that, seeing that young drivers can do the job too. That's going to only help the younger ones coming in." Furthermore, Ocon believes Leclerc will also be able to challenge for the World Championship. "I think Charles will fight for the title next year for sure, at least it won't be a surprise to me," Ocon added. "I know him pretty well. The first race we raced together was in 2005 in mini-karts. We were 7, 8 years old. And we were first and second and I was on the inside and we crashed in the last corner of the last lap, so he didn't finish and I finished like 6th or 7th. That was the first time we met and all our career we've been fighting like this together. I knew he had a very good talent from day one. He's one of the quickest guys out there. I think he will show that next year, definitely." Next news: what's life really like in Lewis Hamilton's slum home? F1 champion Lewis Hamilton caused a mini furore in his hometown of Stevenage this week when he suggested it may have been a slum when he was growing up. The 33-year-old Mercedes driver quickly corrected himself during the BBC Sports Personality of the Year ceremony on Sunday, but that didn't prevent some people from taking offense. The new owner of his childhood home, Trevor Lugmeyer, 73, seemed especially riled up and has since revealed Hamilton's slum home is worth more than £1 million. Mr. Lugmeyer said, "Most people in Stevenage were Lewis Hamilton fans. But I am not so sure now. He used to come around to visit the neighbors, but I think he's lost touch with reality by living in Monaco if he thinks Stevenage is the slum. He used to be an ambassador for Stevenage and everybody loved him because of that, but talk about an own goal, he's really messed up here." Mr. Lugmeyer owns the 4-bedroom property on Woodfield Road where Hamilton lived between 1997 and 2001 while he was making his name on the British go-karting circuit. The F1 ace's father Anthony Hamilton built a garage for his son's first Mercedes in the property. Hamilton issued an apology for his words about Stevenage yesterday, but it wasn't enough for Mr. Lugmeyer and his wife Valerie, who was probably more upset than he was. She added, "I think he's got a bloody nerve. Look at some of these houses. I was shocked. There's no way this is a slum area, no way. I am upset by what he said. Stevenage is quite nice actually. There is plenty going on for youngsters. There are cinemas, gyms, swimming pools, all sorts." Hamilton, who now lives in Monaco, also lived in a council-owned semi with his mum. His former home sold for £540,000 in February 2012 and today its estimated value is £880,000, according to property website Zoopla. Mr. Lugmeyer, who still receives Mercedes magazines sent to Hamilton, says it's worth more than £1 million. Next news: Verstappen hints he had teammate influence. Max Verstappen has said he did have some suggestions over what would work at Red Bull with regards to his 2019 teammate. Red Bull were forced into finding the replacement for Daniel Ricciardo, who shocked the team by announcing his decision to leave them for Renault next season. Reports emerged in the summer that Verstappen was not willing to work with Carlos Sainz, another driver in the running alongside eventual choice Pierre Gasly, as their previous relationship at Toro Rosso in 2016 turned sour. Sainz later in the year said that this was not the case, but Verstappen has suggested he may have at least had some influence in the decision-making process. In the end, it's not about me saying yes or no. That's not my decision, Verstappen told Formula One. But I clearly told them what will work and what will not work. I am not going to mention names, but I am glad that Pierre Gasly is coming. He is very fast. But I am afraid of no one. I fear no one. As for Ricciardo's decision to leave, Verstappen said that nobody in the team was expecting him to go. He had already committed to Dietrich Mateschitz, the big boss of Red Bull, so I didn't understand that, leaving, he added. Nobody in the team understands it. But I never talked to him about it. It's not my problem. Next news: Sirotkin heads to the WEC, but F1 still on the agenda. Ex-Williams driver Sergei Sirotkin will be handed a few LMP1 WEC outings with SMP Racing in 2019, but the Russian isn't giving up on his hopes of returning to F1 in the future. The 23-year-old, who has been replaced at Williams by returnee Robert Kubica, would join SMP Racing's lineup as soon as Sebring in March, where Sirotkin would replace regular driver Jenson Button, who has committed to a Super GT round in Japan on the same weekend. WEC is not even an option, it is almost an obligation, Sirotkin told Motorsport.com. I can almost guarantee you that you'll see me racing in WEC next year. I think it is clear for which team and in which car. Maybe even from Sebring onwards, and Le Mans for sure. While he keeps himself active in the WEC, Sirotkin's ultimate aim is to return to Formula One. The Russian has been tipped for a testing and simulator role with Ferrari, but securing a race seat for 2020 is his ultimate ambition. Now we are trying to collect all the options, but I think there will be no specifics in the next 2 weeks, Sirotkin said. If there is something, then at best it will be after the New Year holidays. For Sirotkin, who scored just a single point in his rookie year in Grand Prix racing but held his own against teammate Lance Stroll, Formula One is clearly unfinished business. Certainly it was a difficult experience, but it made me stronger, said Sirotkin about his eviction from Williams. I have a clear understanding that, for objective reasons, I didn't show everything that I could have shown. But I also have a clear awareness that everything is not finished for me in Formula One. I don't want to give up in any way. I really hope that in a year one will return to the starting grid and prove that it was the right decision to come to Formula One, he added. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.